guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. So today we are going to be doing a talk through version of this look right here. Don't mind my swatches. We are playing with some of the new products that Morphe just released. This is almost like a full face of Morphe products, except for that I definitely cheated, so it's not a full face, okay? It's not. Mostly I just wanted to play with and give you guys my thoughts on the new metallic liquid eyeshadows that they just released, which we did use in today's look. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, that you enjoyed today's talk through. Drop a comment down below letting me know anything else you guys would love to see on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in 2 seconds. Looking a lot less put together. I've just now realized that I am quite pressed for time. It's 10:10. Hopefully I can knock this look out fairly quickly so I still have time to make and eat breakfast and then saute some veggies to take with me for my lunch, because otherwise I'm gonna be hungry. I have my chicken and my rice prepped, but vegetables are the key to satiety, people. Mushrooms, onions, bell pepper, a little bit of salsa, some mustard. So I sat down initially to film a full face of Morphe. If that's still the video that I do, I will be cheating with my base because I love with my whole heart the P.LOUISE base. I love, 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 love how like sticky, tacky, ooey gooey it is. You know, I like my eye primers to be like my cookies. Actually, I'm one of those weirdos who much prefers a crunchy cookie. Like the Tate's Bake Shop, heavenly. Feel free to judge me, but while you're doing so, also drop a comment down below letting me know one of your unpopular opinions. So today I really wanted to play with some new stuff. Particularly Morphe just released these metallic shadows. They're supposed to be kind of like dupes for the Stila ones. They come in boxes like this and it's $12 for 3 of them, and they all have different like color stories. This is the Midnight Heat collection, so it's gonna come with that one right there, this like silvery one, a black with silver reflex. That would be Moonlit, Lightning, and Flicker. Flicker, I hardly know her. So stupid. Yeah, I deserve to drop that. I also picked up the Bare Sizzle collection because, I don't know, it just like spoke to me. I'll show you the colors. I'll do them in order this time. Heated, Feisty, and Caliente. So this is Heated. It's like a really pretty, like peachy kind of gold. Feisty is like more bronzy looking. This is the color that when I swatched it, I was like, I must own this. Must. I like got carried away. I think that this is so caliente. So these are all of the swatches. Okay, there we go. That's a good lighting. First 3 is the Midnight, and then this is the Bare Sizzle, although that's not a Bare Sizzle, that's like a sizzle sizzle. I will say that I wore one of these the other day. I just like tapped it into makeup that I was already wearing. I forgot which one, but it was from the Bare Sizzle collection. If I'm not mistaken, it was the color Heated, and I didn't like that it seemed to like separate and move, which I don't know if you guys have played with the Stila ones, but that is not the case. But also, last night I put on Caliente just with some like normal like pink shades or whatever. I just added a little bit of like a with this color, and I felt like this one was fairly opaque. It didn't separate. I even tapped it out with my finger, which I think is why the first one kind of like dissipated, is because I tapped it out a little bit with my finger in the same way that I used to do with my Stila ones. So that would be like the difference there. But this one stayed all night, and what I loved about it is that they dry down, but they look wet, so I did enjoy that about those last night, but we'll see how they perform today. We are going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Vol2. I think today we'll do something warm toned, and then tomorrow for work we'll do something a little bit more cool toned. So I'll probably film both of those videos. Maybe you'll see both, maybe not. So I'm going to pick up the color My Man, because it's this like super vibrant orangey color. This PurxRawbeautykristi Pure Cosmetics palette is even when I don't use it, like today I'm going to be using that palette, I'm still going to use it as a mirror. Love it. Love it with my whole heart, which is a color. I am going to stipple at first to apply stipple, and then I'm going to switch to that soft circular like wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of motion. Now I think I want to pick up the color Crazy. Same brush, and we're basically going to build a halo eye. You guys know I love a halo eye. So I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna start to wiggle that color out from this inner corner and up. And then we're gonna go to the outer corner and wiggle that up as well. I think the last time I used this one on camera, probably because of all the drama that came out about it afterwards, and I just like wanted no part of that in any way, shape, or form. My overall review was that this was like a pretty good palette. Like I quite enjoyed the way that like the yellow and some of the pinks looked because they were pretty comparable color-wise and like pigmentation-wise to some of the shades that I reach for time and time again from like Melt Cosmetics and then Juvia's Place. I think those are the ones that I compared it to. Makes sense because those have been some of my ride or die palettes for a while. I will say that I did play with it more like off camera, and something that I noticed in doing so was that there are a couple of shades here which I think Morphe has just been having honestly like an issue with in their production of several palettes, because this isn't the only palette that I feel this way, but I do feel like sometimes their shimmer shades have been like too hard pressed, and so it's really hard to not only just like pick up product on the brush, but once you do, like you have to like kind of dig into it. They just apply weird. They're too hard pressed. They're just too hard. I do love the pigmentation though. I love the color story, and so I will still recommend this palette, but I always speak to the positive and the negative on it because I would want someone to tell me, you know. Do I look orange? I assure you I am not. This literally always happens to me. If I zoom out, my camera doesn't think I'm orange, but when I get up close, my camera's like, no, you're orange, but I'm not orange. I'm gonna use just the point of this same brush, and I'm gonna dip into the black color just faintly, and that is called a Temptress. I want to wiggle that just in the very furthest inner corner here, as well as here towards like the deepest part of that purple, towards like the more outer corner of that upper lid. So I'm using black very sparingly, but just to like deepen up those two areas. Beautiful. See how like smoky and dramatic that is? So we're going to try the color Heated again. This is the one that when I wore it the other day, I kind of like tried to tap it out with my finger, and I was less than thrilled about the way that it performed because I felt like it like tapped away into nothing, and not in like a cute way, not into like a soft fade, because I don't know, those of you who have used the steel ones, you can do that. You apply, it goes on pretty much as like opaque as those swatches went on, but then when you tap it out, it like maintains its like color integrity as you tap it out. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to do a little fadey fade. I'm first gonna take the color Caliente, and I'm gonna hit it right here in the very center and kind of start dragging that up. And I'll show you what I mean about tapping. See, when I tap this color out, it doesn't seem to like dissipate or disappear. That is still very much where I put it, as well as in the places that I tapped it out. So I am confused. Maybe it's just that one shade. The fact that it did that is the only thing that stopped me from calling these like a really good Stila dupe. So I feel like it's not a dupe if it doesn't work as well. I don't even know if you guys can tell just how like beautiful and like wet that looks, like a wet kind of glitter. I love it. I want to take this shade, which this is the Heated, and I'm gonna run Heated right in the very, very center. We're gonna see if we are able to tap it out this time with something else kind of under it. No, see, it did it again. That shade, when you go to tap it out, it almost seems to like remove the product that's underneath it, and it just turns into a big old mess. The other one performed beautifully, so I'm wondering if maybe it's just this shade. I do still think that I managed to get like a pretty look out of it, but the middle here looks muddy, and that's not what I signed up for. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of that Caliente color and hope that that doesn't royally screw me over. And then I think to make sure that all of this like melts in a little bit better together, I'm gonna go back in with a fluffy brush. I'm gonna pick up the color Oh Hello. Oh Hello. I'm like barely applying anything. I've picked up so little on the very tippity top of my brush, and all I'm doing is kind of making sure that those colors kiss but don't marry. Just want all my kids to get along, you know? We have a beautiful 10 minutes before I need to be ready to leave. To finish off the face quite quickly, we're taking the Morphe 2, which has been my new favorite. You guys know, if you've been here on this channel before, particularly in the summer times and whenever I talk about like makeup when you're like on the go, I love a tinted moisturizer. Now, this isn't necessarily a tinted moisturizer, but it is a very like lightweight kind of tint to your face, and because it's like oil based, if I'm not mistaken, it does feel rather moisturizing. I feel like it gives like a really pretty like glowy finish to the skin when you're done. And so when I found out that we were releasing this, I was actually very excited. As a dry skin girl, I just could not ever get on board with the Fluidity foundation. If you are someone who prefers like a full coverage matte and you do have like more oily skin, then it's great for you. But it takes so much work for me to get that foundation to look even like remotely like natural or good on my super dry skin. And so I just realized that it absolutely was not for me. But the Morphe 2 is like right up my alley. And actually I just picked this up. This is the color C1.45. This is from our concealer line. And the reason I got it is because I just wanted to try it. I'm going to be picking up the face palette. This is the 8L, and I'm going to be picking up the shade Donut, which is a bronzer. I wear a mask at work, so this isn't like the most necessary like step in my routine, especially when I'm going to work. But, you know, I just feel extra pale with this super rich dark hair, which by the way, I love. I have been dark one other time. When I first like got into like fitness in general, I started at the end of a college, like I started at the end of the semester in 4 months, which most of was like over the summer. So like I wasn't around anybody, but in 4 months I lost 40 pounds, dyed my hair dark brown and bought a leather jacket and came back with a bad attitude because I was hungry. And I was also going through a breakup. So I was just like, it's just an angry lady. Okay. That's the only time that I've had dark hair that I can remember. Yeah, no, I think that's it. So we've done all this like super fun bright stuff up top, and I wanna carry that energy down into our lower lash line. I'm gonna pick up that big fluffy brush from earlier, and we are going to hit just a smidgen of that My Man color. I like purposely leave my outer corners messy lately just because I know that I'm going to like grunge up my lower lash line. It just is how I like my makeup. I just think it's super pretty. So we're gonna make a beautiful like smoky mess starting right here, making sure that those shades are like kissing, like, do you guys open your mouth when you do that? Because I do all the time, like. So I'm gonna pick up that color Crazy, just like me. And again, we're gonna hit the very outer corner. We do want this to like almost kiss out here as well. Wow, this is so dramatic, which to be fair is how I like it. I'm going to also pick up I'm also gonna pick up the shade Temptress, that black color. We are gonna hit that on the very, very outer corner here and here on the inner corner as well, simply because we wanna mimic the halo eye that is here up top, down below. Taking Caliente, and I want to tap that out right down here as well, mostly concentrating it in the center, again to kind of mimic that like halo eye look. Even though it kind of screwed me over, I'm also going to tap in a little bit of Heated. Off camera, I threw on some mascara and then just a random lipstick. Fairly certain this is the color Honey, also from Morphe. Not that it matters because I'm literally going to be wearing a mask, so this will be all that people see. This and this. This is today's look, you guys. Overall, for the most part, I do like these liquid shades. I don't necessarily think they are as good as the Stila ones for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier, particularly just with that one shade. So I'm kind of interested to see what the deeper colors that I got, how they perform, and I will be probably using those in a look tomorrow. I really love the color Caliente from the Bare Sizzle collection. The color Heated is not my friend, but I'll be playing with those a little bit more. I think from now on, whenever I go to talk about new products, I will always in a later video kind of like follow up and tell you like my lasting impression, because a first impression and a lasting impression aren't always the same thing. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in hearing about, or if there are any products that I've like kind of talked about here on this channel before that you'd be interested in knowing like an updated like thought on. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with me. I hope you all have a very fun, safe, healthy day, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.